Can you dig it? Can you dig it, folks? It's the C3 podcast. Tony Dunn here, trying everything he can do. Everything he could do to talk football with you. All right. Look, we do a podcast on Tuesday nights. That's right, we do. On Tuesday nights, 9 p.m., we get it cracking. We chop up the latest Panthers news and opinions. There's a lot to talk about. Number one, look, we had a preseason game where we won against Buffalo. How nice is that, right? We won against Buffalo. Take that, Carolina North. No, the cruddy thing about it, Kelvin Benjamin played his Super Bowl. That would be his only one. Because Cam going to get the real Super Bowl. He can have that preseason game. I thought it was interesting that they put first team offense out there for another possession, second series of downs. I thought that was for Cam and to get a little bit back at the Benjamin thing. Maybe it wasn't. Number one takeaway, Christian McCaffrey looked pretty dang nasty. I think if you were a little disappointed in what he meant to the team last year, which, you know, maybe that's high expectations in the fact that that you had Alvin Kamara and all those guys just going nutso, right? Going nutso. They, you know, I think that some people just, you know, it was a little it wasn't overwhelming. It wasn't underwhelming. It was whelming. And, you know, so some people probably want a little bit more. But I tell you one thing is that Christian McCaffrey straight doing it. I mean, that is what he was doing in that game. I think he is going to be one nasty player this year for the Carolina Panthers. Right. So that's my number one thing is that Norv really just found some light. It doesn't have to be creative, man. I mean, it's just like, look here, throw to McCaffrey. Look there, throw to McCaffrey. Look these guys off, go to McCaffrey. It worked. He was pretty dang nasty. Number two, Taylor Moton, starting at right tackle, played two quarters, which was a lot. I mean, and so you got to see him going against Shaq Lawson, who was a guy, former number one draft pick, around 19. They've already come up and said, Buffalo has said that they don't particularly think that he's proven himself, right? And that they've wanted him to be more. And so what I think is that's important to note because Moton is going to go up against a guy who's motivated at this moment. You know, he's not a first stringer that guaranteed a position. He got a guy's best game. He didn't allow any pressures. So I thought that was good. I thought the offensive line actually played particularly well in that, you know, Matt Khalil was Matt Khalil. He is not, he's going to just be serviceable, it looks like. Not even, I mean, we're just hoping he's serviceable at this point. I don't want to get on the haters club just yet. I think the third thing that I'm interested in also looking at is really how do you judge the defense on a team like this when you don't have your most important parts out there? Poe, Short, Kuechly, and Peppers as well. But, you know, it's kind of hard to really gauge how this defense will look with that limited group of players or without those guys who mean so much. You know, questions in the secondary, obviously, when, you know, we're used to those at this point. But to me, I was a little disheartened in some ways about how the twos looked. And some of the guys that we're interested in seeing step up, specifically on the defensive line. And I know everybody's on Jermaine Carter or whatever his name is, Junior, JCJ or whatever with the sack. He had a good game. I was looking at David Mayo. He didn't look all that great. He made Colin Jones look better than him. That's saying something. You know, if Pat Coltrane's watching, Colin Jones looked better than David Mayo. Man, David Mayo looked indecisive. His knees and his legs wanted to go one way, and his head wanted to go another way. It just wasn't working for him. So, all these are really cool things. And then this Cam thing, Cam and KB. There's this great video going around on Instagram and Twitter and all of this, and I'll try to get it for the show tomorrow night, where it's like a voiceover to it. It's amazing. So look, I think there's some good news in not looking particularly sharp right out the gate. Cam missed on 2 passes that he should have connected with. I'm trying to figure out, these are things I've been thinking about. Did Olsen run that route a yard short? He ran right down the 9-yard marker instead of the 10. Would that have made a difference? You know, they always talk about timing and throwing to a spot for a Norv Turner offense. So it's kind of hard to see, you know. I mean, maybe it's a little bit of both. Maybe it's just typical Cam can't hit the first pass to save his life. They should just call a QB run every first play and just have him run right into Ryan Khalil's butt each time and just get it knocked off. Or maybe they should just like let him know that Matt Khalil will be blocking on the first play, so you might as well just run. But you know, those 2 things, that one thing is interesting. You know, another thing I was kind of interested about are those plays, was this first drive entirely scripted? You know, were these the 5 plays that they were going to run no matter what? Because, you know, there's some things like, I think that second where we ran the ball, and it looked like they had like 9 mugs in the box. So many. One of them dropped back into coverage, so it was like 8 in the box for sure. I thought that too, and I know everybody's hyped about Ian Thomas. Everybody's hyped about Ian Thomas. But one thing I'm going to go ahead and tell you is my man's got some ways to come on the blocking. And not that he doesn't know what to do and where to be, is that he's going to have to put on some NFL muscle. That's what he's going to have to do, because it's going to take more. He had to go up against a guard, poor fella. He stood there, but he just got pushed backwards. And then if you saw that one play where Christian McCaffrey potentially fumbled the ball, they said it wasn't, which whatever, got it back, thank goodness. That was Ian Thomas having trouble getting to a spot and beating that guy. So, hey, Tyler Lovato is in the chat room, dude. Where more like testing all this stupid internet crap, but also talking to myself and musing to myself about NFL football. So I'll ask you, how'd you feel about the performance? Good, bad, ugly? I think that, what I wanted to go back and say was the reason I'm glad that I wish Cam would have gone 9 for 10, hit both of those, went down, scored a touchdown, looked sharp as all get out. You know, I would have loved to have our offense do that. But it didn't. But sometimes I think that's good. Better now than later. And you know, the defense, that they're getting their asses chewed out by Rivera and Washington after that game. Not chewed out, but, you know, like, hey, you guys got a lot of work to do. And then also, just the team overall, Tyler, or whatever you want to talk about. The other thing that I think about the offense not looking razor sharp, I think there's a lot of things to be optimistic about this offense that we saw, is that it's going to make these guys hungry. You don't want them to, you know, to be complacent. So I felt like they probably went back into practice saying, hey, we still got a ways to go, right? So these are things that I'm thinking about. How is this going to translate? Some other cool things that I liked. I felt like C.J. Anderson looks like he could be again, this is what we're going to have the problem this year is that, like, how do you use both of them at the same time? We didn't see that out there. You saw Christian McCaffrey with Alex Arma more, or entirely. You saw C.J. Anderson, like, in the third quarter. So, these are one of the things. How do you use C.J. Anderson when not giving it away? So this is what Tyler says. Love DJ Heineke. I don't know what his name. Heineken. Moten was dominant, dude. Curtis Samuel and Jermaine Carter. You know, Curtis Samuel, you got to give him up to this, is that he didn't hit that tackle on the special teams play. But he was there. And if you go back and watch, like, that play where he runs down there, he has to wait for the ball to get there. Like, I mean, that's kind of cool that you're down there. Like, he could have fielded the punt almost. The other thing that was really awesome was to watch about, if you see that, and I tweeted a little clip of it. If you see him about the 50, around the 50-yard mark, he pulls away from that. Like, he pulls away. Like, those guys, there was two guys trying to bump him off his spot, and he just ran in, and he knew that punt was going left, so he had an advantage. You know, I mean, he's going to be tough if those guys push him out of bounds. I don't know how he's going to get back in. But to see him with that pull-away speed around the 40 or 50, that's got to say something about the health of his ankle. Ron Rivera was very complimentary about how hard he worked in this offseason. And I thought that was, I think that's a big testament to the kid and his character, to see him down there on special teams, giving it his all, you know. Dathan Vanover says, what's up, C3? How did Jackson look at corner? You know, we didn't get to see him tested a ton because they were just torching the other corner. He's going to be the real deal. I think that it was, Tyler says, Jackson looked bad versus KB. He got beat up, but overall he had a decent game. I thought that was mostly Kevon Seymour, though. And maybe on the other play, I know that Kevon Seymour is the one that gave up the touchdown. He had two touchdowns really against him. That one, they called pass interference on that one. Offsetting penalties too, offensive pass interference. He says he got targeted 3 times and lost 2 catches. Yeah, is that, I don't feel like we got to see him a ton. Not see him a ton, but like really see like how he's going to hold up. I do remember him. One thing that was interesting, and this drives me nuts, is why was I know it was 3rd and 8. There was a 3rd and 8 down. And Kevon Seymour, Jackson was playing a full 11 yards off the ball, man. I'm like, God, you're the fastest dude on earth. Why are you worried about this guy getting behind you? Like, I mean, that's what Daryl Worley did. Good God, Daryl Worley be in the damn end zone at that point. So, did anybody get to see what, hold on, what's the receiver? I didn't get to see the receiver that got in trouble that I should know. He went to ECU, ECU receiver, Zay Jones. I didn't see Zay Jones at all in this game. I was kind of interested, just because I'm an ECU grad, what was going on there. So, look, other thing that was that I was looking at, I was trying to look at guys that we don't typically look at. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but I put up the story on Taylor Moton and how he impressed on that a whole 2 days before Cat started saying, oh, he had a good game, because I watched every play of him and Deshaun Hall over and over and over and over again. I tell you, Deshaun Hall is not, he didn't show anything that he's ready to contribute just yet. He looks the part, you know. So he looks the part, but, you know, he had no, I felt like he was almost like Shaq Lawson was for against us. Is Shaq Lawson had one move against Moton outside. If he couldn't get around the outside, which he couldn't against Moton, he didn't have anything. Shaq Lawson needs an inside move, and so does Deshaun Hall. And that is Dathan, I think that he said that TD threw him to the, like, grabbed his shoulder pad and threw him down. You know, that's what's the one time KB gets physical with a damn corner. The one time he's not in our jersey, right? But Deshaun Hall, what he was missing was an inside move. And so here's the thing, is that he just had nothing to get around that guy on the outside. He wasn't fast enough to beat him on the outside. He couldn't out-muscle, I think his name's Jordan Mills. Couldn't out-muscle him, who is going to be the starting right tackle. And then he couldn't swim inside, or whatever, rip, swim, whatever you do to get inside. What I mean by that is he couldn't do what homeboy did to Matt Khalil, right? All right, so Carl Van in the house, and Carl said he wouldn't have beat Bradbury. Back to a point that I think was important to note in assessing the defensive performance. Look, I ain't gonna lie. After I watched the game, I wasn't thrilled. I wasn't thrilled about our performance, offense, defense, period. I thought that I wanted Cam to look sharper. I've said some of these things tonight. But I do think, how do you assess the effectiveness of a defense when you don't have, like, your four best players in? And Bradbury. No Poe, no Short, no Peppers, no Luke. You know, these guys aren't going to be playing. And then no Bradbury, of course. You know, that's going to be tough. Tyler says, yeah, Matt Khalil let a man inside. I'm scared, to be honest. You know, Matt Khalil, what I didn't like in that move was not that he just got beat. And I have the video clip somewhere. I might be able to show it to you guys. Let me try something. So the thing that I didn't like about that move, or that moment, was that his footwork was like choppy. And what I mean by that, and did I save it on my laptop? I think I saved that video on my laptop. Let me see if I can find it on Twitter. He took big. So I was trying to read, because I don't know a ton about the mess. You know, I don't know a ton about, like, how, like, technique. Like, this is the technique that you should be doing. But what I did read is that these offensive linemen need to take short, choppy steps. And it makes sense, because these big steps get your body, your balance, your momentum moving one way or another. And I thought that was something Moton did very well, is watch his feet. Choppy, 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 choppy. Quick, choppy steps, quick, choppy steps. They're big fellas. But then when you saw that one where Matt Khalil gets beat to the outside, he bit on the move, but it wasn't just biting. He took this. It looked like he was like a both of them looked like they were trying to be running backs in jump cut, right? And so to me, that was just poor technique. And I don't know a lot about it, and I could tell you that. He took this big giant step to his left. The guy goes right and then back to the left. And if he would have had choppy steps, he could have maybe gotten to him. I saw another thing that was great about Moton, where I don't know if Khalil has it, dude. And that is Khalil, what he I don't know if he's strong enough and good. Coming from a guy that ain't as strong. I mean, obviously I ain't playing in the NFL or nothing. But what I thought that is interesting is that Moton, he kind of got, Lawson almost beat him to the outside on a play. And it was on a combo. He had a combo block. You can go read the story I put up on CarolinaCatChronicles.com about how he impressed in his preseason debut. But what he did in this combo block, so he gets off this combo block and Shaq Lawson's about to beat him around to the outside, and he was able to, with his right arm, get one arm in a blocking position, and that one arm, he was strong enough to slow him down. And then by that time the play was moving along, and here we go. Let me see. Here is the video.
One back long.
Let me see if I can download it real quick. Copy link. Twitter downloader. So what do you guys, first I want to look, everybody who's here on a Monday night, we're doing the show tomorrow. I'd love for everybody to get a cat call in and tell me your reactions to the preseason opener, what you were excited about, what you're concerned about, and those types of things. Let me see. Got you right here. Got you right
well,
here.
He's the #1 back, longtime stalwart Jonathan Stewart, released in the offseason. Newton under pressure, avoids the sack. Oh,
Save this sucker. Where is this? Maybe I can just screen share this. Screen share. Let's see if I can. Scene, browser source, window capture. Like that. Add source. Let's see. Oh, I think here it is. All right. Let's transition here. And this is it. This is the play right here.
Well, he's the #1 back, longtime stalwart Jonathan Stewart, released in the offseason. Newton under pressure, avoids the sack.
Watch here. His feet.
Well, he's the #1 back, longtime
right
stalwart
there.
Jonathan Stewart, released in the offseason. Newton under pressure,
big
avoids the
giant
sack.
steps, man. Big giant steps. So that's kind of some things. Look, there's some cool things that I think I put out. Most people don't care about it. I think it's funny is that, like, I retweet every Muggs thing on the internet, whether it be professional reporters, other people like us that doing their thing, and nobody ever be showing my stuff, except for you guys. You guys do. You guys do. But I put up something on Deshaun Hall and Moton. We'll be getting into these things tomorrow night. All of that in detail. Look, you know what's up. First, I need y'all to make sure that you subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at @cat_chronicles. If you listen on iTunes, like, go to iTunes and rate the podcast. That'd be killer. Second, really call the Cat Calls line and tell us what's up. Tell us what you think about the Carolina Panthers' first preseason performance, things that got you excited, things that you are on your mind and you're concerned about. And I think another thing to be thinking about is, how are we going to be looking against Miami? We get to see us play against Minkah Fitzpatrick. That's going to be cool. Like, he already showing some cool stuff. We'll get to see Matt Khalil and Robert Quinn. We'll get to see we'll also get to see who did I say? Moton versus Cameron Wake. So some of those things. So let's be looking ahead. And the other thing you got to look at is go watch the Tampa Bay game. You can watch Tampa Bay and Miami at the same time because they played each other. And then Atlanta putting the goose egg up. Goose egg up. So look, I'll see you guys tomorrow night, 9 p.m. live, YouTube for sure. Maybe all over the place. We'll see how this thing going. We had one successful stream right here. Holy moly. Rockin' rolling. And Pat Coltrane, I don't want no damn Mac. It's the internet speed. But you're right. A Windows update will ruin the world. All right. I'll see you homies later.